crypto, gaming, and AI solutions investors are looking for.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's little talk. As mentioned, I have with me here Mariya Spartalis. She's the founder of Spartalis Capital, and she's an investor in that capacity. I have Kaljulaid from Yolo Investments. He's a portfolio manager. And I have Tomasz Korecki. He's the founder of Eleo.ai, which is an AI tools implementation business. So what we're going to be talking about today and learning more about is, of course, the different investment cases out there and where you see that things are really hot. So welcome to the panel attendees. If we start out with you, Mariya, which kind of crypto business cases do you see are really in demand right now and of interest to your firm?
Let me shortly introduce myself. My name is Mariya Spartalis. I am 25 years in financial and banking as well crypto industry. Been director of the first crypto bank Switzerland in the past, but now I have a different clients which are consulting in different areas as well in iGaming and similar investments. So to repeat your question to all of us.
Yes, please. What are the investment cases you're seeing right now that are of, let's say, great potential, great momentum?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to start. Hi, I'm Klen, as mentioned. So I guess I'm a bit out of place here because I will be speaking about iGaming mostly, because that's what I know best. From the iGaming perspective, there are two areas that I would highlight. One is for sure B2C operators with a clear USP or advantage. That can be product like social features. It can be platform, for example, building on top of existing communities on Discord or Telegram, and that could be also regulatory, so sweeps in the US, for example. And then the second thing would be media, which is not your typical affiliate site, but has an existing community, for example, on Instagram, and the ability to use that community to drive it towards a product and monetize via a product.
And for somebody like you, Tomasz, how do you then apply that in your business?
Let me introduce also. My name is Tomasz Korecki, and I'm founder of AI Start. This is startup accelerator for AI and blockchain startups. And I am also the founder of Eleo.ai. This is one simple AI solution for businesses. From my perspective, anything from that is connected or combined blockchain and iGaming is interesting, and almost all AI projects now that utilize AI and help companies utilize AI.
Yes, also regarding your question at the beginning, my clients, yes, there are some very interesting projects with my clients regarding mobile gaming in iGaming area. As I was used to work many years with Eastern European specialists, I have a very great provider of cyber sport games, which are right now searching for some partners and different solutions. And of course, I got contact with different investors in this area, and I mentioned each concrete project.
So
there are many of them right now, and the iGaming area is growing very, very fast. It's about 6% annually growth. So we have a lot of projects depending on the client.
So for somebody like you, Tomasz, who has an accelerator, what kind of projects do you take into the accelerator, and which ones of these projects do you see have the strongest growth right now?
Well, there are a lot of AI projects. So AI is the future for sure, and AI will be implemented in almost all kinds of our activity, not only business, but personal activities. So there are a lot of projects that they need to prove that actually they are AI, because there are many projects that are trying to implement AI, but it's not AI in fact. And utility is the, let's say, the gold.
So if those projects are not AI, what are they then? Machine learning? What is it?
Machine learning, of course, but machine learning is, let's say, a tool for AI. So there are a lot of different AI technologies, perspectives.
And for you, Klen, if you look at the portfolio and the investment cases that you are contemplating or are already into, which ones do you see are using AI in the iGaming industry?
In general, I think there's a lot of talk about emerging technologies like AI and machine learning and so forth. But if we just look at the iGaming space, I would be hesitant to say it's innovative. Like, if you look back, let's just take suppliers, for example. The slot machine hasn't changed much since the 19th century when the one-armed bandit was introduced. The only thing that changed is that it's now online and we have more reels and possibly fruit characters. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. And if we look at operators, it seems nowadays like 8 out of 10 operators use the same Canva templates. And I think Netflix introduced in 2000 algorithm for recommendations, which has been adopted by Spotify, Hulu, and basically every other tech company. But the iGaming industry, for some reason, just is very slow to adapt. So, yeah.
So somebody like Yolo on that basis, coming from the iGaming industry yourselves, what business cases do you invest into outside of iGaming, which is in the AI space or Web3, where you can really see strong momentum?
So I think the things that I just highlighted, like we are very much on the lookout for that one AI company that can solve the problems for our own B2Cs, which is BitCasino and Sportsbet. But we haven't actually found the one that can actually deliver on the promises, which is strange.
And that's why you move into business cases like Toncoin. I believe Yolo was a significant investor in Toncoin from Telegram recently.
In the crypto space, we are very much believers. I think that problem is not as big. Yes, Ton is one of our big investments. Also, Telegram as a platform that uses Ton and so forth. So from crypto side, we are very bullish. It's just other emerging technologies that we are not so bullish on.
Okay, and for somebody like you, Mariya, in the business that the investment cases you look at, how is it then? What do you feel are the most hot topics as business cases to get involved with these days?
First of all, I select my projects personally, and a very important topic is social impact. Generally, I think that this world is changing now, and then maybe the innovation, the innovative component of the project, because I always look and focus on some fundraising with the clients, and the innovative elements are crucial and significant because now everything is developed very, very fast in different areas.
So when you say you're looking on the social side, how does that come across? Is that it has to have something that has social impact on community?
Absolutely, social impact friendly, I think it's a topic of the future right now. The world is changing, and that's why I select very carefully such projects. And of course, a very interesting topic right now is metaverse, NFT elements, which are coming when we speak about iGaming. In iGaming area, if there are some IE elements, it's always very exciting.
Okay, so let me understand this. For all three of you, from an accelerator, investor point of view, where do you believe that the business will go from here? Because it seems like AI became super hot the last 12 months. But do you think that AI will remain at the forefront as the main topic, or will it branch out to something much more specific within AI, like let's say content purely, or sometimes we learn that a new industry is not really adopted in the way we wanted it to, and then they give up on it. What do you see on that side, Tomasz, in terms of what you see in your business?
Well, AI is the main topic, and I think it will be main topic for the next few years. So as you can see, for example, new blockchain projects, trending blockchain projects are projects that implement AI somehow. Maybe for iGaming, as you said, it's difficult to understand how AI can help, but AI is connected with data, with exploring data, researching, and so on, and in many different applications connected with developing business, running business. AI has solutions.
But when people come to your accelerator, are they not worried that you might cannibalize their ideas, because you both have the accelerator and at the same time you have your own AI business, right? So you're not only a guy who helps them grow up, but you're also running potentially a competing business. How do you manage that?
Well, accelerator is a vehicle that helps people to come from idea to first product or to first investors. So it's a kind of a place where projects help each other. Accelerator do not act as an investor, giving only the money, but giving also the knowledge, the technology, access to people, and so on. So this is like a common, space for people who wants to develop their ideas.
I see. Okay. And for somebody like you, Klen, over at Yolo, what have you seen in terms of the space? What are the main trends which are really growing fast right now, where you guys believe that it's worthwhile, not only for yourselves, but also for competitors, colleagues, to consider allocating capital or helping such businesses?
So there are already some practical use cases. For example, suppliers use them to cut down on costs, for example, design and so forth. And I guess the big thing that I mentioned in the beginning as well is I'm still waiting on that Netflix feel from the operators, which to me as a millennial seems very weird not to have it. So I'm sure this one will get solved this year.
Will Yolo fix it?
I'm sure Yolo will invest in a company that will fix it.
Okay, interesting. So with this to mind, how do you then believe that the industry as a whole, because there has been this element of fraud, do you believe that could be an element that AI might help, or is it only going to make it worse? Because it seems like, especially, user authentication seems to be a challenge nowadays, and especially in something like Web3, iGaming, etc., the risk that the operator might get defrauded is something. Do you think AI will help, reduce the fraud, or will it only accelerate it? Somebody like Tomasz, please.
You mean identity?
Yes.
Yes, AI can help to prove identity. So just as a other technologies.
Klen, Mariya?
Yes, just like it's very fascinating, because I used to connect the old money world and the new money world. And of course, AML rules in Europe and internationally, they become more and more important and significant. And it's so fascinating how I influence this AML check. In different segments of business, for example, like in some new banks, there is some integrated AI, AML elements already, which very fastly let check the identity of the opponents, clients, or whatever. So I think that I believe that AI will play more and more significant and important role for sure in AML questions, identifying the client and so on.
Okay, so yes, Tomasz, please.
Yeah, so most of us think about AI as a ChatGPT, as a solution that can talk with you and or sometimes
content creation.
Yes. But AI is simply also the tool to analyze data, to make research, and can be a solution for different B2B tasks.
But that's naturally based on a large language model, an LLM, by which you define the parameters under which the AI is going to operate, yes?
Yes, this is the one of AI, let's say, segment.
Okay. Klen, please.
I guess long term it will solve all problems. So like VIP profiling, marketing spend, problem gambling, as you mentioned, and of course security risks and so forth. So, but short term we're not there yet.
So then the question becomes, because some people will say, if it's going to solve all problems, when is AI going to set up its own business, which might not be an incorporated entity, but might become, let's say, an autonomous entity that starts competing with human beings? How do you consider, that potential risk, the whole Terminator Skynet theory?
As an investor, I think it's a good thing to be in a position to invest into companies that might secure that type of future.
Because you feel they'll be more productive than what you are seeing out there right now with the existing investment cases?
I think there's no doubt that they will be more productive than what we're seeing right now.
So actually, if I understand it correctly, considering that you're such a large player in the industry historically, and you're now also an investor, are you somewhat disappointed with the lack of innovation there is in the industry towards adoption of this new kind of technology? And what would you expect that the industry does to make things progress more?
Yeah, so I guess the industry today is a lot of white labels and suppliers put together, and then there's some treasury management involved. But I guess in the future it could be much more tailored towards the actual user, which is me, for example, or the rest of the generation that's coming. I think the trend right now is that people play 3 to 5 slots in their lifetime. Like they stick by the ones that they start playing. But in the future, we will see a more blurred line between gaming and iGaming, and I think AI is one of the things that will help us get there.
And you mean it's like, so essentially, if I understand you correctly, you are saying, look, the world as we know it, for instance, in iGaming, is essentially just an electronic version of what was a physical casino in the old days. And you're saying that it might be a lot more, let's say, real life games like Fortnite, whatever it might be, that will have a money element to it where you win things. Am I understand that correctly?
Yeah, I think the lines will get blurred in the future.
And then on that basis, to the whole thing about the Web3 sphere and blockchain, do you see that being implemented into it or being run on it, or is that more kind of something that will run separately?
It's very hard to predict the future, especially from the blockchain side, because currently it doesn't seem to be the best solution. It's rather slow and so forth. So I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay, Mariya, have you seen any trends towards that?
Well, actually, I wanted to continue philosophizing about the future, and it's very interesting because I'm also ambassador of some of the companies which is calling Anima. And it's about animation and about some technological solutions. It's a different topic, but I think, for example, what they do, they try to scan the brain, put it through AI to some programs, and they try to actually make movies for each person. He can make his own world and own movies out his brain. So I think in iGaming and generally in games, maybe very soon, because we have already in Hollywood and everywhere, like in metaverse, like 3D and clones and stuff. Probably games will go out of the screens of TV of our phone and start being like 3D play in our room, you know.
So you're talking about the virtual reality, augmented reality, where
Absolutely.
Right, where you have the implementation of like a VR set or something similar that's then implemented in the real world.
Right now it's a beginning, but I think in the future all games will be in our room.
Okay, that's very interesting perspective. Have any of you seen any business cases that were trying to implement the artificial reality?
I have some.
So you have some in your portfolio today.
Yeah,
Try and tell us a little bit about just one of them. How does it work?
That's what I told you. That's the company Anima, which the technical group, which is connected to Hollywood, to some cloning of some personalities like Michael Jackson or whatever, and they right now can clone already yourself and your own world. You can create your world, and you can create everything around yourself, and it's very, very exciting. They call it Anima, soul. They cannot clone the soul yet, but they can kind of make you your virtual personal world already. And this is very exciting. It's very hard to explain because I'm not technician, I'm financial advisor. You should talk to the team if anyone works, but it's super exciting what the technologies are bringing us, not only like in a public that we watch movie, but also personally we can already use this technology, and this time is very close.
Okay, so let me understand on that basis, an investment case like that, how are they growing? Are they purely living off funding from the investor side, or are they able to generate revenue? And how does that?
They of course they have some seed investor, and they have already generated some some few revenues, because it's like a kind of each client should pay about 2 million euro for such a little game. So of course they start creating revenue, looking for some investors and growing. But it's a very interesting business, I think, and very specific, because you kind of can create your world forever, and your grandchildren could come and meet you. It's like it's very exciting. So I think it's also for emotional investor. It's very interesting, and it's a kind of technological but also emotional investment a little bit.
I see. Okay. Someone like Tomasz, with your business cases, how has that been? Do you see anything where you are investing in and you are encouraging them to be sensible about the treasury spending, or are you more with the American belief of, burn fast, burn cheap, in terms of that they have to show momentum? How does that work?
Yes, I think momentum is the most important now. So first of all, gain users and then maintain these users. Because everything what you can do now is acquire cheap clients. In 2, 3, 5 years, it will be very difficult to acquire new users for the price that new products can acquire.
But how do you differentiate that between a user and a client? Because, if we look at somebody like Google and such companies, they've all been very focused on the importance of that the user was the client, it was not the real client. They were just the ones who actually enabled them to go out and sell the data or engage from a marketing point of view. How do you view that differentiation?
Yes, in and I, it's a tricky part now. So if we are saying client, it means paying client. It's a very low percentage of users. I think it's similar to Amazon, to Google in the past, that it's very difficult to value the users and to value the client. But what you can do now is to acquire user and prove the model and prove that your product is needed on the market.
Okay, for somebody like you, Klen, how does that work?
From my gaming perspective, it's all about killing the operator. So a good example would be at Whale, which is a casino built on Telegram. So all the customers are already there. They can just access it via their Telegram account, and the payments are seamless. You can use @wallet to transfer money in and out. And then you have the games, which are, again, seamlessly implemented. You have your own games, originals, and you have those good suppliers like Kaljulaid on there. And I think we are moving towards removing the operator from the formula.
But let's just take that as an example. You're talking about something like a online, let's say, iGaming solution available on Telegram. How does that then work from a legal point of view? Because, in a lot of jurisdictions, there are IP restrictions as to whether you can access the online iGaming operator based on your IP address. How do you see that working in the future?
Yeah, I guess it works two ways. Like in a lot of crisis moments, for example, Telegram is the main channel to communicate what's going on. So I think, yes, there can be some IP restrictions, but there are also moments where Telegram is the best solution for you. And I guess the biggest places where this is a problem right now is China, but the same problem applies to every other operator.
But do you think it might come to a point at which, IP addresses will somehow be pushed in the background, and then all users globally will be able to engage with each other regardless of their IP address on something like Telegram, because something like Telegram is morphing out, right? It just used to be a messaging app. Recently they had the wallet solution. You're talking about the iGaming solution on the app. It sounds like you guys might have a little plan there. Can you give some vision to that, or how does that work?
Yeah, but I think in general it's not just Telegram, right? The same gonna happen on Discord. I'm very bullish on Telegram in general. I think at Whale will do amazing things there, but I think this same formula can be applied to other platforms without the need to have like a traditional white label solution there.
So am I understanding correctly that you're not only bullish on Telegram, you're also bullish on Toncoin?
Yes, I think Ton will be one of the key utility tokens in the future.
So with that said, when we're looking at the different investment cases, because we are almost out of time, if we start with you, Mariya, the investment cases you look at, how many of them are, let's say, token, crypto-based, or are any of them crypto token-based, or do you more prefer business cases which are, let's say, a separate business segment like AI only? How do you filter that out?
No problem. No, right now I'm still very small. I'm big in my experience of banking, but I'm still very small in selecting my projects because on this matter I'm one-man show and boutique. Spartalis Capital, so I'm selecting my projects about like mostly 50% old money business projects, and the crypto NFT and another projects about 50% too, because I have a not very big capacity yet, but very soon I'm gonna have a very big surprise because I'm gonna partner with some Middle Eastern partners, as I was having award Business Lady of the Year Dubai a month ago. I would partner with Middle East partners, and we will grow the consulting company from this side, and also with some Western companies from Monaco and from France. So I will be bigger. That's why right now it's I have a small boutique.
Understood. Over to Klen.
Okay, so from a VC perspective, the goal for VCs, the premise is that each investment should return the entire fund, which in our case is 100 million euro fund. We usually take 10% equity, which means the exit should be a unicorn, so north of 1 billion. If you look at the iGaming space, there's not many unicorns that come to mind. I think the closest one is Jackpocket with 750 million. So if we try to reverse engineer somehow a unicorn to get like a good deal for us, it would have to be a B2C operator, because that just generally scales better. It would have to be white market, because the EBITDA multiples are way larger, like 10 to 13, as opposed to 4 to 6 for gray and 1 to 3 on black markets. It would have to be, it doesn't have to be, but it would be good if it was in the US, as US only businesses revenues are usually much higher valued. A good example is DraftKings compared to FanDuel, which is 46% higher valued multiple. And then if we want to actually invest in something in the US, it has to have some USP, some advantage, which in the US can be regulatory. So we have all the pieces, which is white market, preferably US. It needs to have some USP, which can be regulatory. So that's social, sweeps, or pick'em. And I think that's one of the key focus areas for us in the next couple of years.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you. And Tomasz, closing words?
Yes, a few words. We are looking for AI for business projects, blockchain projects on any chain. And if the project combine blockchain with AI, it's also super interesting for us.
Duly noted. We are out of time, unfortunately. So unless somebody have a very quick question, we are going to close it here. And would like to thank my panel attendees for joining today. And yes, thank you.